parents? In the black, the ones that are looking away? Okay, I will end you. The ones that aren't looking right? Okay, kid, I will
Yeah. And I walked away going, okay, so that's the kind of dad you're gonna be. That's great.
Is that I see something waving. I'll go with the waving flag. Yes, that one. Okay, your badge. Sorry, everything's a little bright. Is that the greatest idea of all time? Get it? Because the light bulb. Stop talking. The amount of lumens. Why is he still talking? Easy for you to say.
I have a question for both of you, and I'm sorry if I get a little emotional. As parents, and as someone that's dealt with depression, if your child was diagnosed with it at an early age, my son just turned 11, and he's been bullied for the past year, how would you handle it as parents?
Talk about it. Talk about it. Yeah, talk about it and say, you know, it'll pass, be there. All you can be is here, right? And you can't fix anything. But I mean, I've dealt with it. I'm here. A lot of people have. So, just talk about it. You know, talk to a professional. Okay.
Yeah, we've got a doctor for him.
Great. Do that.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, as you can tell by my last story, we certainly aren't the best parents. But yeah, I would certainly say that to get somebody professional on your side to help mentor you and how to take care of it would be the first step. But yeah. Sure, keep it up. Okay. How about right there? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first of all, Jared, the hair's on point. Your hair's always on point. You know that.
A bunch of little points, but I get it.
And Jensen, if we get to season 12, how do you feel knowing that you will be the same age that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was when the show started?
We've talked about this.
And where is your 26-year-old Hunter son?
Yeah. Yeah, because Jeff, I think, is 11 years older than me. And I'm sure you all know that when after we shot the pilot and we got picked up for the series got picked up, they looked to recast the dad as an older actor because Jeff was only 11 years older, and they were like, because in the pilot he's the
The big scene in the pilot was obviously a flashback.
Right, a flashback
more
when
appropriate,
Sam and Dean are little. And so they were going to look to cast an older actor to play John Winchester. And I don't remember how the decision was made, but they finally just were like, let's just gray Jeff up a bit. Put some gray in his stubble and maybe gray his hair a little bit and just make him look a little older, even though he's, too young to really be our father. But they did that anyway, and I think they made the right decision. I think he did an awesome job.
We have a funny thing where, because we've been on for over 10 years, we call it the 3-decade club. So we have people that started the show in their 30s that are now in their 50s, people that started the show in their 20s that are now in their 40s. And so, every year now, we have people that are reaching, if you're 39 when we shot the pilot of the first episode, then you're now 50, so the 3, 4, 5 decade club. So the big question is, will you go from 26 years old to 40 years old on the show? Only if y'all want it.
My goal was to, by the time Dean got to where Jeff was when he started the show, I was like, I gotta get my voice as low as his. So I've been working on that for 11 years. And now I need medical help, so.
You always need medical help.
Shut up.
I'm gonna go there to the very end.
Yeah, love the show. My daughter was wondering, Van Hagar or Van Halen?
Sammy Hagar or Van Halen? I'm gonna go Van Halen.
You're gonna go David Lee Roth?
Yes.
I have a Van Halen story that's fantastic.
Tell us.
So I was at Ralph's in California when I was maybe 21, 22 years old, and they sell beer in the grocery stores until like 1:59 a.m. And so we were gonna have a night, and so we went to the grocery store to buy some beer, and when I get into line, there's a guy who is a small guy, he was maybe a homeless man or something, but he had an open like Hawaiian shirt, brown leather skin. He was buying a bunch of $2 Chuck, which I don't know if $2 Chuck, Charles Shaw line, they call it $2 Chuck, because it's always like $1 or $2. And it was like special, and there was a special on, I guess. It was like 16 bottles, like 4 bottles of Merlot, 4 bottles of Passat, 4 bottles of this. And I was like, geez, this guy's going to town. Thinking like, he's loading up because I think it was a special of the weekend or something. And so I'm just making conversation.
Which is a raging alcoholic.
And so I kind of make a conversation, and I'm like, that must be good. And he looks back and he's like, you never had it? And I was like, I never had it. He's like, well, follow me. He grabs my arm and takes me to the end of the aisle where all these wines are for sale. It's like limit 4 per varietal or something. And he's like, well, this. So I just kind of humoring the guy, grab a couple bottles and go back to the line. And the clerk, the cashier, asks for this gentleman's ID. And the guy's like, you don't think I'm 20, he's clearly over 21. And the clerk's like, no, in the state of California, you have to swipe the ID, otherwise, you could be 100 years old and I can't sell to you. And so the guy kind of goes to his pocket looking for something, and he pulls out his ID, and the clerk grabs his ID and just kind of gives it a cursory glance, and he kind of goes like this. And I'm thinking, like, I see this look, and I'm like, this guy's either like 100 years old and he looks 60, or he's like 25, and like something crazy's going on. And so he checks the guy out, and the guy's like, enjoy the wine, kind of wanders off. And at this Ralph's, you can see out the front, you can see the cars, the parking lot, stuff like that. There's glass register parking lot. And so the guy's kind of has wide eyes. I mean, he's probably in his 20s. And I was like, so what's the story? Like, what's the story? Like, what just happened? He goes, do you know who that was? I was like, no, because that was Eddie Van Halen. And I was like, what? And so I craned my neck to look, and there's Eddie Van Halen loading up wine into a Ferrari. I drank the wine that night. It was awful. And at that point in my life, I didn't really know wine. Yeah.
On that note.
On that note,
I think we're done.
try the $2 Chuck. Love you guys.
Don't give it now. Thanks for